Hello everybody, I'm Peter the Book Lover, and this is Book Talk, where I talk about the last 3 books that I've read. Let's talk about some books. Hello everybody, I am Peter the Book Lover, and in these videos I call these Book Talk, and these are the last 3 books that I've read. And I'm going to give you my opinion of these books, and I'm going to tell you what these books are about. But before I get into these books, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me your time. I really appreciate you giving me your time. You're wonderful. I love you being here. Thank you very much. Now, let's get into the books. The first book that I'm going to talk about is Night of the Living Dummy. This is written by R.L. Stine, and this is from 1993. And this is about a set of twins, Lindy and Chris, go exploring in a house that is in the process of being built. In a dumpster, Lindy finds a ventriloquist dummy that she wants to keep for herself, and she names him Slappy. Lindy starts practicing ventriloquism with Slappy, and it gains her popularity. And this makes Chris jealous, and she wants to have a puppet as well. So her parents wind up buying her a puppet of her own called Mr. Wood. And soon after, strange things start to happen, and owning these puppets start to cause the twins a lot of problems. And pretty soon we start to wonder if these puppets are alive. Now, I think this was a great book. I enjoyed reading this a lot, but I do not highly recommend this book. This is more for a younger audience. The twins are both 12 years old, and this is a lot more for children than it is for adults. But at the same time, me being an adult, I enjoyed reading this book. There was a couple chapters to where it left you like wanting to read more, because it kind of like the way the design of the chapters like really went with each other. Each chapter is about 3 or 4 pages long. This took me 3 days because I get busy with a lot of stuff, but this would not take a person a long time. As a matter of fact, you could probably read this in one setting. And yes, this is a pretty entertaining book. The ending is a little bit different than I thought it was. There's a couple surprises, and I thought R.L. Stine did a pretty good job writing this book. This is from 1993, and I would recommend you reading this. Although, keep in mind, this is not Stephen King. This is definitely for a younger audience. Do not expect to be terrified. Okay. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns. This is another R.L. Stine book, and this was written in 1996. And let me tell you what this book is about. There are 2 characters, Drew and Walker, and they get invited to a Halloween party thrown by Tabby and Lee, where a practical joke gets played on them that terrifies Drew and Walker. And it ruins their Halloween because the joke is so scary. So they want to get revenge on Drew. They want to get revenge on Tabby and Lee. So, with the help of their friends, they set up a practical joke. Their friend is Shane and Shanna. And their plan is to terrify Tabby and Lee, and revenge will be served. However, on the date of the planned joke, Shane and Shanna do not show up. Instead, a set of people with lit-up pumpkins for heads show up and force Drew and Walker, Tabby and Lee to go trick-or-treating a lot longer than they want to. And they force them to trick-or-treat so long that the bags become very heavy, and pretty soon they want nothing more to stop trick-or-treating. And that's pretty much what happens in this story. And then there's a surprise ending to this story as well. And this is just like the Night of the Living Dummy. This is an entertaining book. I enjoyed it, but I would not recommend this for people looking for a Stephen King type of novel. This is definitely not terrifying, but this is still a lot of fun. This is really set for a younger audience, and I found it entertaining. I enjoyed this book quite a bit, and if you gave it a shot, you'd probably like this as well. This wasn't bad at all. I liked it a lot. I liked it quite a bit. But then again, I wouldn't say that this is terrifying. So do not expect to be scared. Although the ending kind of surprised me. I kind of like the ending. So this is Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns, and I would say that this was a decent read. Now, the next book that I read was written by Gaston Leroux, and this is The Phantom of the Opera. This was released in 1910, and let me explain what this book is about. The main character is Eric. He is also known as the Phantom of the Opera, and he is a man with a lot of talent. He's a great ventriloquist, he is a great musician, a great vocalist, and he is a great architect. He also knows how to design secret entrances and trap doors, plus booby traps. He knows how to stay hidden, and he would be extremely successful if he didn't have a hideous appearance. He has a face not even his mother could love. He has lived in the catacombs under the Opera House in Paris for many years. At the time of this novel, the Opera House has new owners, and he uses his power as the opera ghost to influence the new owners with blackmail. He has fallen in love with Christine Daae, and he uses his influence and ventriloquism skill to win the heart of Christine. So he uses his skill to replace Carlotta in a singing performance by making her sound like she's throwing her voice. And he's hoping to win Christine's hand in marriage. But Christine is in love with Raoul. And Raoul is in love with Christine. And he is a man who is willing to fight for her love and honor. Now, this was a pretty good book. I enjoyed this quite a bit. Although the journey of this book was great. I loved it till the ending, but the end of this book ends in kind of a flat way. It kind of ends to where there's no grand finale. There's like, you find out the after effect of things that happened. One interesting part about this book is written in a way to where they play it off like this is a true story. At the end of this book, in the appendix, Sherlock Holmes is mentioned, and he is actually on the case trying to solve this case. And this movie would be a lot better if it had the grand finale from the 1925 movie, the silent movie. I watched that after I read this book. And the ending to the silent movie was a lot better than the ending of this book. But getting there, the journey there, it's a fantastic book. There's scenes to where Eric, the Phantom of the Opera, is like spying on Christine and Raoul as they're talking. And he's kind of a master of disguise as well. And I really enjoyed this book quite a bit. This is a classic from 1910. And I think that if you gave this a shot, you'd probably like this a lot. Although do not expect a fantastic ending. Believe it or not, I recently read The Hunchback of the Notre Dame, and that had a better ending in my opinion than this. But at the same time, I would suggest you check this out. So that's the 3 books that I'm going to talk about this week. I hope that you're enjoyed to hear me talk about these books. I am very happy that you gave me your time. If you can, and you liked this video, can you please give me a like? I really appreciate the likes. They mean a lot to me. And if you haven't subscribed, can you please do me a favor and subscribe for more? I make videos all the time. Every time I read 3 books, I like to talk about it. And I do read a lot of great books. So there are interesting things that I talk about. And if you can, please do me a favor and let me know what you think in the comments. I love to read the comments, and I respond to all my comments. And I want to thank you all for being here. You are lovely for giving me your time, and that's all I have to say. I am Peter the Book Lover, and I thank you for coming by, and I will see you next video.